Made it back all safe. Guys are all healthy. Got all 15 guys at practice. Everybody knows that Holt's not playing, but we have 15, so everybody's healthy. We'll see on Connor's status. He's going to probably have to take 3 or 4 practices to get going again. He hasn't really practiced. So today we'll have everybody at practice. Guys, I think, are excited to get back home, sleep in their own bed. I'm sure they're extremely excited about starting classes today. So they went to class, and it'll be interesting to see how they're doing. Haven't seen them yet. But we'll prepare for Wyoming today. Going to face a really good team. It's kind of a lot different than we've faced the last 10 years that I've been here. I think they're 6th in the country in pace. They got some terrific players, guys back from last year's team. And Allen's first year. So it'll be a different look, and we'll try to get ready for that today.
Coach, what does it feel like to play back-to-back and win at 2 difficult places?
Good. Feels good. Happy for the kids.
Coach, you mentioned the Wyoming first year. They're going to be different. How are they different than the typical Wyoming squads that you're used to seeing?
Well, I think the biggest thing was you had to win, 55 to 53, or, it was always, I think we had really close games since I've been here.
The last 4 out of 5 have been
Yeah, 4. So, different that way. The unique thing is they're giving up 80 points in conference play. They've scored a lot of points. They score a lot of points. They have a lot of guys that can shoot it, which has been one of our Achilles' heel on the three-point line. So hopefully we'll continue to improve on that. So, it's something that's unique for their team. So it'll be different for our guys.
I know you mentioned some of the guys they have coming back. There's not an actual award for this in the Mountain West, but most of the player, is Hayden Dalton the guy that kind of surprises you because he was on there? Hayden Dalton?
Yeah, he's a good player. He played, though. He played minutes last year.
Is his performance this year something that surprises you, or
not as much as Hutchinson? But he's a good player. He plays hard and knows how to play. And I'm always for kids that play extremely hard.
How would you summarize the league right now? In the sense you went
Up in the air. Up in the air. We're just very fortunate that we're able to play and win on the road. Unfortunate that we didn't take care of the 2 home games. But I think our guys are in a good place. I think they're playing the way we've always envisioned them to play. I think their defense is extremely improved. I think their awareness is improved. I think their chemistry's improved because we're starting a freshman point guard. And we're starting Dane Kuiper, who's a sophomore. And I think our bench has improved. I think playing those guys early in the year has helped us be able to play them in conference play.
Definitely seen some growth. What about their ability to finish? That was a big finish to, get that win. How do you feel about that?
What's the ability to finish? Just because you had one not finish? Or is that just they've never been able to finish?
No, previously you were saying my team needs to find out a way to finish. And
we've only really not finished one game in Nevada, and that's because of lack of missing free throws. I think, you bring up a great point. There's 2 ways to finish. There's a way to finish where you get defensive stop and get a rebound, or you make free throws and put it out of reach. I think in both of the games on the road, I think they showed flashes of getting over the hump, as a sense that Boise cut it to 2, and we end up winning by 11. Colorado State's a very good, potent offensive team, and they were able to close that out. So have they gotten better offensively closing games out? I think so, yes. I think you're absolutely right. Defensively, we really haven't had to do that. I think the defensive stops that we had at Boise, I think playing all the man-to-man that we did at Boise has shown them how they can play defense. So, yeah, that's a great point. It's just that I think they've only really not finished one game by making free throws against Nevada.
is with Wyoming's pace of play. Do you usually when you're playing a team in league play, you go back to old films? You can go back.
I don't
to your
have
best
any.
style.
Yeah, I don't have
I mean,
anything.
Is this unique in that regard that it's so different that there's nothing you can really?
Yeah, you just try to spend a lot of time on the film that you have to date. You spend a lot of time not so much on, um, past. I mean, Alan was there with Larry and Coach Schott's son's there, Jeremy's there, but they're playing totally different than they have in the past. So, not so much going back.
Jalen, is he getting more comfortable out there? I mean, he made
I think
really
so.
some aggressive plays.
I think what really helps us, JP, is that Jordan Hunter's coming into his own, and Jordan Hunter's healthy. I think you guys are observant. I think fans are observant, but I played a lot of minutes there at the end with Jordan and Jalen in the game. And if I had those resources in games in the past, then maybe we could have finished better because Jordan Hunter went 6 from 6 from the foul line. He gives you another threat, but I think he also gives Jalen rest. I think Jalen being a freshman point guard, logging all those minutes and bringing of his frame and strength, I think that pays a toll on him. And I think with Jordan back in practice and I think Jordan in the game, I think that helps Jalen.
Is there a concern of burning him out because he is a freshman? Don't want to.
Well, that's why I've played Jordan as much as I can when he's available, but he hasn't been available. So we've had to go with what we do. We played a lot of 4 guards the last game. We'll continue to do that. We're going to play the best team we can put on the floor. That's not always what I've wanted to do. It's not how we've always played, but I'm going to make the adjustment what's best suits the team.
Are they adjusting well to the time together on the court? Because there's the end of Colorado State, there was some of that, but then a lot of minutes, like you said, at Boise State with Jalen and Jordan together. I mean, are they?
Well, I
do
think
they work well together on the court.
Well, I think what you saw it at the end of the Boise because we had to get the ball in bounds. We had to make free throws. So you have Jalen, who's your fastest kid. He can run and get the ball real quick and take it out. And then you got 3 really good free throw shooters, except Dane fouled out. So that helps.
I guess other than just the free throw scenario, do you see these two guys
No.
maybe playing some minutes together?
No. Maybe. Not a lot, though.
We talked about that four-guard lineup before. A couple weeks ago, you said you didn't get out of what you wanted. What did they do differently in these 2 games where you were able to play them a lot?
I think what they did was they guarded. I think being able to switch and do some things defensively, they're able to guard at a high level. Offensively, I'm still not pleased where they all are offensively because we should be more potent with 4 guards on the floor. We should be able to drive it better. But I think that's just practice and doing it because we haven't had a lot of time doing it. When you have the playbook that we've had for so many years and then you shrink it and then now you're going to put in 4 guards, you're adding another guard that's really not a great perimeter shooter. So as far as stretching it out, as we've done years past, it's a little bit different, but then you have to be really good at the drive, and we got to continue to work on that. But I think they'll figure it out. I mean, if we can continue to get confident play from Sam offensively and Dane offensively, and those 2 little guys playing with the ball, they're hard to guard. And then, of course, Elijah might be the best at the country getting to the foul line at that perimeter spot. So that helps us.
The last 2 teams are teams that don't necessarily shoot it at a high percentage from 3, but they can get going from 3 at times. They can get streaky, and neither one of them did. Are you seeing that as a sign of them missing shots, or are you guys a better defensive team on the 3 right now than just a month ago or so?
Trying to figure out how I can word this without. I think there's more of an urgency from my group than there was 4 games ago. I just think they see games going away, and they don't want to let any more games go. And I think there's an urgency. I talked to them about how many games. I mean, and Tim Williams have 11 games guaranteed left, maybe 12, counting 1 tournament game. So I think there's a little bit of urgency. I think there's a little bit of maturity. I think there's a little bit of attitude that they want to win. And that's all on them. They've done an outstanding job, and I'm proud of them. how they've played the last 2 games because there is an urgency to them.
I know you guys are happy to be done with some of the travel, but the last 2 games in the pit were losses. Are you in any way approaching this homestand 2 games in a row any different than you would normally with homestands?
No,
Nothing needs to change?
no. What do you want me to change?
Just the
We're
last-
80% since I've been here as a coach.
Right, but the last 2 losses. So
Yeah.
does anything need to change about?
Yeah, and the same question you asked when I had a 3-game losing streak if they were listening to me. I think they're still listening, so I'm not going to change much.
And the pressure of the home fan base, though, and the pressure of wanting to do so well for the fans that you've talked about in the past and other players have, is that
They have to block the noise outside of that locker room. If the fans are going to affect them, then they got to be a little bit mentally tougher, and I think they've got past that. I'm not. I probably did a poor job not discussing the Nevada thing with them because I think they were affected, and I think they had a hangover for the UNLV game, and I think we've got past that, and I think we'll work through the rest of the season. We got a long way to go.
Coach, can you explain to us what Wyoming does, what their strength is?
I think the biggest thing is they just really push the ball. They're hard to guard because they have 4 or 5 guys on the floor at a time that can shoot threes. They move the ball well. You got to guard them, and you can't let them drive you. You can't foul them, but you're going to have to stop them from making jump shots. They can really shoot the ball. The games that they've lost, they haven't shot the ball very well. So hopefully they won't shoot the ball very well in here.
Is it more challenging as a coach to prepare for a team that is the game's gonna be in the 80s, or a team like Wyoming that used to be?
I think it's more challenging for us when you don't know what they're going to do because you don't know what sets they're going to run. We're pretty good guarding sets or half-court sets. This is a little bit unique because they kind of free-flowing offense, a little bit like Colorado State. Those have always been the hardest. Air Force has been the hardest because it's always constant movement. So, it's a little bit different for us because you can't predict what they're going to do or what they've done in the past. So it'll be a little bit unique, but I think our guys will welcome playing at a faster pace. But we don't want to get too out of control where we turn the ball over and not take good shots. So our biggest thing is we're just going to continue to guard.
Talk about the pace. You guys have been trying to pick up the pace with Jalen on the ball. I mean, do you think it's going to be a physical game?
I want it to be physical. The problem that we have is we have to be physical without fouling. When we struggle defensively, we put teams on the line 23, 24 times a game. When we get people, like our last game, we were in the bonus with 13 minutes to go in the second half. That's happened to us a couple times this year, and that's hurt us. UNLV, New Mexico State. We like to play physical defensively. Don't want to use our hands as much, and we don't want to put people in bonus. So we just can't let people to get to the line. But I'm sure it's going to be an up and down game.
Coach, Logwood looked strong the other night.
He did.
Did you do things with him by design, or were they impulsive?
Well, I think once he got going, they were impulsive, but we ran some plays for him. One thing that I want to do is bringing him off the bench, and when Elijah's out or Tim Williams, we can do some things and run some offense for him. So I think that helps him get going. And also I think he took shots that he can make. And, you want to take shots that get off to a good start. I mean, I was always taught being a player, try to get to the foul line or try to get a layup, try to get you some confidence. So, but he played really well. He played as good as we thought he could play, so hopefully he'll continue his fine play.
So you told him that it seemed like he has been so much more successful from around 5 feet around the basket shooting. And I think Nevada game it was that way, and then this game, and it just seemed like he's so much more successful around the basket. Have you told him that then, to maybe drive more and go toward the basket more now, or not?
Well, I mean, you're talking about a kid that was 4 for 25. I mean, you're just trying to give him any confidence you can. It doesn't matter where he shoots from. So, I mean, I'm just trying to help him be confident. I don't care where he shoots from, where he plays, what he does, what position he plays, his minutes he plays. I just want him to have some confidence.
Like 5 out of 6 shots that he made were within 3-4 feet around the basket, except for the 3-point shot, which he probably went crazy when he shot it. But I mean, he did shoot all the other shots right around.
I don't know
the
if I
basket.
went crazy, but He scored 12 straight. He scored 7 straight there last year. So, I mean, we do go back and look how guys do against other teams. He scored 7 straight last year before half. So, I mean, Sam played great. And we got to continue to get that play from him. So it doesn't matter. The minutes he plays, he has to be productive like that offensively.
What about Kuiper? Obviously, we've seen he stepped up to be that scorer that he had potential to be, but he also, getting kind of touchy with the fouls. Is he just trying to do too much? You tell him to settle down. What's going on with that?
Well, I can't crawl into his head, and he fouled. So, I mean, he just put himself in a bad situation. He made some fouls, but he can't use his hands. He's got to improve on that. So does Jalen. So that's one thing that's got him in trouble. But he's continued to play well for us, and hopefully he'll continue to do that. But he's got to stay out of foul trouble because we need him.
The bench, not reserve players going into the game. The guys actually on the bench those last 2 games getting up more than I've seen them. Have you noticed a difference in just how they're reacting when Sam was going off at the end of the first half? It's about as I've heard your guys' bench all year probably. They were loving it. Have you noticed a difference?
It's because you've been sitting. You sat there. Go back and watch the film and watch our bench at home games. It's the same.
So you didn't see any difference in the last 2
No,
games?
no, I haven't. I mean, you see it because of where you sit the last game. I think where you sit in our home games, I don't know why you sit there, but they've got you in the seat over there. So you don't see our bench. I mean, that's not something you're watching. But believe me, if our guys aren't up, it's pointed out in film. So I think they understand it. I think that's their job. Do I think that sometimes they weren't as much as it was at Boise? Yeah, I agree with you. But I think that's not been.
You mentioned that the chemistry's getting better. It just looks like they're enjoying the last 2 games. They just seem to be loving what was going on. Now they were winning big in both games. But
Love is a powerful word.
It is.
It is a powerful
But
word.
it seemed like they were really engaged.
I just think they're having fun. I think they like being around each other. I think, maybe it's because I'm not beating them over the head or grinding them out, but I think they're having fun, trying to have fun with them. But I mean, they're a good group to be around. I mean, I'm happy for them.
You can see a lot more leadership out of Brown too. It seems like, boy, he's talking to the players and just seems to. You can just see.
He wants to win.
relationship.
He wants to win. It means something. I think these guys have seen over the last 2 weeks how good they can be. I think it first came to their San Diego State. I think the Utah State, we showed flashes, but I think they get it. I think they get when they do what they're capable of doing, how good they can be. That's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like I told them in the first half. I put you in spots, I call plays, I tell you how we're going to guard, and if you play like that in the first half, I don't have to do a lot. I have to do a lot more in the second half, but don't have to do a lot in the first half.
Is it fair to say the adversity you experienced recently has helped your team, has been a catalyst? for your
Adversity in the sense of which adversity?
team?
Hearing
the
boos from our
25
fans or
25-point lead.
yeah, I think it is. I think adversity brings out the best in people, and you find out who's tough, who can stand up to it. I think we got a pretty good group. But you're right. I think that's big.
Knowing as little as you do, or they're kind of an enigma, Wyoming. Defensively, what do you think? Man zone, gimmicks?
No, we're just going to play 'em. We're just going to play man. I mean, we're just going to play. I mean, we'll play. At the end of the day, it's what you do as a program and a team, and we're going to play how we play. Now we'll make some tweaks. You'll probably see some unusual lineups, but we're just going to play how we play.
Good.
Thanks.